Hi, I am Pierre Rivette, reporting for Trinity News. Today I am with Joe and Kishan, talking about the upcoming US election. So, how does the US election system work?
Well, basically, the two main parties, which are Republican and Democrat, vote in the early parts of this year on who they wanted to be as leader. Donald Trump became the Republican nominee and Hillary Clinton became the Democrat nominee. And basically, the way that's done is each state votes on who they want to be president, and all those points and all those votes are collected in a convention, which happens in the middle of the year, and they decide who they want. After that, the two nominees fight out in a very hard-fought campaign, as we've seen this year, to try and achieve the most number of electoral points. And basically, each state is assigned a certain number of points based on the size of their population, and the aim is to win enough states in order to win enough electoral points, and that number is 270. So that's what both candidates are trying to get, and the first one to get that will be sworn in as president in January.
Okay. What are your views on Trump and Clinton?
Well, I don't like both Trump or Clinton for different reasons. I think Clinton's had a lot of controversies during this whole election cycle. Things like WikiLeaks releasing some of her emails and her campaign's emails, showing how they treated people like Bernie Sanders and some other candidates. And then there's Donald Trump, who's basically running a populist sort of movement, and he'll just say anything to get people on his side. And most of the time, there's no actual coherent plan for America. So I think either way, America's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I agree to some extent with Kishan. I believe it's an election on the lesser of two evils. I'm much more in favour of Clinton than I think Kishan is, mainly based on her policies. I think her ideas over Obamacare are pragmatic, to say the least, and I think her views on immigration are progressive and what America needs. And I see Donald Trump as very dangerous and divisive, and running a campaign which has no fixed aim. And so I believe that I would personally vote for Hillary Clinton, but she is fundamentally flawed on many levels.
What do you think the future would look like with each candidate as president?
Donald Trump America would be dangerous, divisive, not effective, and very sort of demeaning of many of its citizens. I believe he will fail on most levels. I think his economic plan of trumped-up Reaganomics, I think, as Hillary put, is dangerous. We're hitting a new point of prosperity, and this is where governments need to be taking a step forward and trying to use the money that they now have and have acquired and try and have more progressive policies. I think he won't build the wall because it won't happen. The Mexican government definitely won't pay for it. I think what people will see is a man, a liar, who is saying all this stuff because he's trying to get crowds riled up, but knows deep down he won't achieve it. And I think America will be very dangerous because of it.
I think my issue with the Clinton presidency is going to be the foreign issues. I think she knows what she can get away with domestically, but I think her attitudes towards Russia could lead to some quite nasty confrontations, maybe over the Crimea, Ukraine, or possibly over Syria as well. I think internally, I think everyone knows what she's about. She's pretty clear about what she wants to do. But I think internationally, there could be some issues which will affect us as well.
Who would you want to win and why?
Well, I wanted Bernie Sanders to win. Obviously, it's too late now because he was knocked out of the race in the primary stage. But if we're looking at the candidates left, I'd have to say Hillary Clinton. Not because I feel any great passion towards her like I would do for Obama, because I can't, I couldn't bring myself around to do anything which would jeopardise the state of America by allowing Donald Trump to win. So I couldn't bring myself round to vote for any of the other candidates or not vote at all. I'd have to vote to Hillary simply to block Trump.
Yeah, so like Joe, I probably couldn't bring myself to not vote if I was an American citizen. But I'm going to say someone different. I'm going to say Gary Johnson, who's the Libertarian candidate. And even though he might not win, I feel like he's the most honest and sensible person running in the race. He's a former two-term governor of New Mexico, and he was a Republican. But he was quite socially tolerant in his policies towards the LGBT community, towards abortion. But he was also very good on spending, and he kept spending down in New Mexico, and he left it with a surplus after his 8 years in office. So, yeah, like Joe, I probably would have to vote. I feel my need to vote in this election. But I'd vote for Gary Johnson even though he probably wouldn't win. I feel most comfortable voting for him.
Thanks guys, and we'll bring you part 2 with the reaction of Tuesday's results. Stay tuned.